Chapter 7. The power of persistent desire is invaluable wherever increased results are wanted, and therefore the full force of desire must invariably combine with concentration. When we desire persistently the object in view, we become deeply interested in that object, and we cause the whole mind to work for its realization. Besides, the element of desire will instill something into concentration that is really alive. It will eliminate the tendency to make mental or personal actions mechanical or forced, and will give to every action the vital spark that means so much. The force of desire will also deepen and expand every mental process involved, a situation that may at times become the opening way to remarkable results. To concentrate successfully, we must direct and focalize all the creative energies of our mind upon the object of concentration. But these energies must first be aroused, and here is where real desire becomes invaluable. Wherever we turn on the full current of persistent desire, every energy and force in the mind becomes alive, and may be enlisted for good work in any place where the power of concentration has been directed. We find, therefore, that the force of desire becomes a direct and powerful aid to concentration in two distinct particulars. First, by creating wide-awake interest all through the mind, by causing the mind to become vitally interested in the goal in view. And second, by arousing or making alive the latent or dormant energies of the mind, thereby providing the process of concentration with a vast amount of additional power. All of this we understand perfectly, and the more we investigate the psychology of the process, the more reasons we find why we always get what we want when we want it real bad. The secret, then, is to want what you want with all the life and power there is in you. We can reach any goal or realize any ideal when we concentrate perfectly, and with the full force of a perfect concentration. And persistent desire proceeds to give concentration more and more of the two chief essentials, that is, deeper mental interest and greater mental power. In this connection, inquiry may arise as to the best method for creating this deeper and more persistent desire, especially where we may not be personally interested in the final results. But here we should remember that we always gain personally from anything that is done right. If we develop greater mental power through the use of any psychological law, we gain to that extent, even though the greater portion of the tangible results may, in this instance, go elsewhere. The future is long. Every form of gain will come to each one of us in due time. In a very short time, if we take advantage of every opportunity to increase our own capacity and power, we should therefore be interested, personally, in the best and most thorough use of every psychological law we may have the privilege to employ. Realizing this fact, we all want the desired success, the greatest possibility success, for every enterprise with which we may be connected. Such a desire will improve remarkably not only our own concentration, but also all other powers and talents we may possess. Our own gain, therefore, will be strictly personal and most direct, and although tangible gain may not come at once, it positively will come in the near future. The future is both larger and richer for those who improve themselves in the present, and greater opportunities are waiting everywhere for greater minds. But improvements must be genuine, not merely superficial. To increase the power of desire, we should deepen and intensify all such desire in every form and manner, realizing the fact that the more the mind acts in a certain direction, the greater becomes its power to act still more in the same direction. The force of desire, therefore, may through this simple rule become immense, and the more we increase the force of desire, the more we increase results in every field of thought or action. Furthermore, we may cause the forces of concentration and desire to act and react upon each other to create great advantage. That is, the more we concentrate for the increase of desire, worthwhile desire, the more powerful and persistent will such desire become, and the more deeply we desire the power to concentrate well, wonderfully well, the more life, energy, and action will express in the building of real concentration. Chapter 8. The greatest faculty of all is that of imagination, but it is the least understood, due principally to the fact that most minds have remained in grooves of thought, and therefore have not given extensive attention to their own creative possibilities, the richest and most numerous of which exist in the field of imagination. In the development of any power or talent, however, these creative possibilities must receive direct and scientific attention, and this is especially true with regard to the power of concentration. Besides, some of the functions of concentration are so closely related to those of imagination as to seem almost identical. When you employ the faculty of imagination, one of your chief objects is to bring together ideas or mental images with a view of creating some new or greater idea. And in concentration, this bringing together tendency, this uniting the many in one, is a leading object in view. It is clearly evident, therefore, that a better training of imagination will largely increase the power of concentration. When you employ the faculty of imagination, you also tend to bring together the many creative energies of the mind, combining these energies in the one process to which you are giving attention at that time. A highly developed faculty of imagination, therefore, naturally becomes an invaluable aid to the power of concentration. And when we understand how concentration can, by working with imagination, bring together in one powerful line of mental action all the best ideas of the mind and all available creative energy, we know why we usually find an excellent imagination wherever we find a remarkable concentration. Analyzing the subject farther, we find that a vivid, well-trained imagination tends to light up the entire mental world, or in other words, to make everything in the mind more clear. The result is that the idea or object upon which we concentrate becomes more distinct, and accordingly, we not only concentrate better, but the entire mind becomes interested in this idea on account of its vividness and its distinctiveness. Thus we call into action the many aspects of mental attention, an action that increases directly and instantaneously the power of concentration. We all know through experience how much better we can think when the ideas with which we are dealing are vivid or stand out clearly in the mind, and also how much better we can concentrate when we have a distinct mental picture of the object in view. An imagination, if well trained and scientifically applied, will invariably turn the light upon any idea that we may call upon for examination or further development. When imagination is vivid, every mental process will be literally filled and surrounded with light, and we all can appreciate what an immense advantage this will be in the practical application of concentration. To illustrate, we will call imagination into action wherever we wish to concentrate, and immediately that place or process in the mind will become so vivid and stand out so clearly that all our faculties will become interested. The entire mind will turn its attention towards the point of concentration, and in a moment the entire mind will concentrate. And when we have the whole mind working for the object in view, the results desired will positively be realized. As a practical suggestion, we should, whenever we begin to concentrate, proceed to imagine all the forces of the mind coming to a focus at the point of concentration. This simple rule will not only produce some startling results in the process of concentration itself, but will also train imagination for definite and practical work. Herewith, let us note that the imagination does have the power to take the lead in the mental world, and therefore whenever we imagine that a certain thing is being done in the mind, we lead a majority of the energies of the mind to go and do that very thing, provided, of course, that imagination be vivid and highly positive in its action. Here, then, we have within easy reach a most remarkable possibility. End of chapter.